So you might have heard me talk about the best places to live in Orlando, Florida, but today we are talking about the top 6 places you want to avoid when moving to the Orlando, Florida area. So stick around, we'll be right back. Hey, what's up everybody? Today we are talking about the top 6 places you may want to avoid when moving to the Orlando, Florida area. And before I get started, if this is your first time to our channel and you want to know what it's like to live, work, play, and thrive in the Orlando, Florida area, then do yourself a favor, make sure you tap that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the awesome information-packed videos we're putting out to you guys on a weekly basis. We are seriously working with people every day from around the country who are relocating to Orlando, Florida, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about making a move, make sure you give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. However you'd like to communicate, we got your back when moving to Orlando, Florida. Let's get started. First up on the list is Pine Hills. Pine Hills is actually one of the earliest Orlando suburbs and sits just west of the downtown area. Pine Hills in the 1960s and 70s was an upper class area with even its own country club and home to a large number of professionals from Lockheed Martin, a large company known for its work in aerospace and government defense that is still in operation in the Orlando area today. The decline of the area started in the 1980s with the city of Orlando annexing parts of Pine Hills to Orange County, which led to a decline in area maintenance, higher taxes, and an increase in apartment rentals as affluent residents soon moved to surrounding areas outside of Pine Hills. The median income in Pine Hills is $39,000. The median home price is coming in at around $230,000, which is about $30,000 less than the median home price for all of the Orlando metro area. However, on a positive note, that is a $25,000 increase from 2019. On another positive note, over the last few years, Orlando city officials and county government officials have worked together to really try to revitalize the area. They've implemented new traffic patterns and roadways. They've stepped up their code enforcement to try to keep the area clean and looking nice. And they've also implemented some after school and extracurricular activities for school age kids. Number 2 on our list is Parramore, which is centrally located just south of downtown Orlando. Parramore, like Pine Hills, is a historical Orlando neighborhood actually going back even further to the days of segregation. It was built up in the 1880s by former Orlando Mayor James Parramore and was segregated to be the black part of town. Now, the area of Parramore suffered years of neglect through the Jim Crow era and much of the 21st century. Other contributing factors include a large area of Parramore being industrial, and like Pine Hills, certain areas are divided up between the city and the county. Unemployment in the Parramore area is also an issue, with over 23% of residents being unemployed. Those that are employed are only receiving a median income in that area of about $18,000. The average or the median home price in the Parramore area is about $185,000. What's really unfortunate and what puts Parramore and Pine Hills at the very top of our list are their crime statistics. They have very high property crime and violent crime statistics compared to not only just the surrounding Orlando metro area, but the entire state as well. Coming in at number 3 on our list, we are heading north to Casselberry. Casselberry is an Orlando suburb in Seminole County, just northeast of Orlando. I have to say that Casselberry being on this list was a surprise, but when you look at some of the crime stats over the recent years, I definitely think it's worth mentioning. The latest Casselberry crime stats report an overall upward trend. The city violent crime rate for Casselberry was higher than the national violent crime rate, averaged by about 41%. And the city property crime rate in Casselberry was higher than the national crime rate by an average of almost 60%. While there are some nice communities and some nice homes in the Casselberry area, there's many homes in some neighborhoods that sit very close to industrial parts of Casselberry, and unfortunately that can introduce a higher crime rate, and it can also decrease property values upon resale. On the plus side though, the majority of Casselberry residents do own their home. The median income is about $47,000, with the median home price in Casselberry being right around $235,000. Really quick, if you are enjoying this video, make sure you check out our top 5 Orlando neighborhoods video. And if there's a city that you want to know more about that you haven't seen a video for yet, make sure you send us a message. We'll definitely get that done for you. Okay, getting back to it, number 4 has us in Kissimmee. Kissimmee, I feel like, is often been misrepresented, or people are just unfamiliar with the Orlando area and they have the wrong idea about Kissimmee. And I think the biggest reason is because Disney World is also located in the Kissimmee area. Unfortunately, because the world's largest theme park is so close, Kissimmee's economy is very catering to the tourism industry. And that means there's a ton of hotels, strip malls, and short-term rental housing. Many of the communities have increased HOA fees, as it's very common for many of the homes to be used as short-term rental properties to out-of-towners visiting Disney or Universal. Those fees can be as much as 2 or 3 times more than average HOA for the rest of Orlando communities of similar style and price range. Again, there are some nice homes and some nice communities within Kissimmee, but unfortunately the tourism industry in that area, because they've catered to it so much and because there is such a transient population coming in and out of Kissimmee on a regular basis, it really has not helped their property crime statistics one bit. Number 5 on our list is Deltona. Deltona is actually in West Volusia County and sits at the most northern tip of what's considered the Orlando metro area. Some might even argue that it sits actually just outside what's considered Orlando metro. But the reason I included them on this list was because, number 1, they have great access points to I-4 into downtown. And I do a lot of business in Deltona. I work with a lot of people that live in that area. And a lot of people commute from Orlando to Deltona because property values are so much lower. They can buy a lot more house in West Volusia than they can, say, in Seminole County or even parts of Orange County. From Deltona to downtown Orlando, you're probably only looking at about a 40-minute, 45-minute drive, depending on traffic. The other reason Deltona finds itself on this list is due to the low property values and higher property taxes. The median home price in Deltona is $205,000, which is almost a $20,000 increase from 2019. However, Volusia County has some of the highest property taxes, not only in the state, but across the entire country. Volusia County is actually ranked 630 out of over 3,100 counties nationwide. Don't get me wrong, there are some very nice houses and properties in the Deltona area. Like I said, I do a lot of business in that area, but unfortunately, it's a very large community or subdivision. What's considered makes up most of the Deltona neighborhoods and homes, and there's no HOA in that area. So what happens a lot of times is that somebody might have a home that they've maintained very well, very nice, but then a neighbor or a neighbor a few houses down has a home that they have not maintained, or it's a completely different style house at a completely different price point. So sometimes, depending on what area you're in Deltona, some of the surrounding houses around you and some of your neighbors can actually hurt your property value depending on the style and sizes of their homes, but also how much upkeep or how well they've maintained their homes and properties as well. Despite having great access points to downtown Orlando as well as the beaches of Daytona, Deltona also scores low marks for their grades in public education. Their school system from elementary to high school consistently receives average to below average grades, anywhere from C's to D's, and that's another big reason why I included them here on this list. Final spot on our list belongs to Davenport. Davenport is similar to Deltona in that it sits right at the edge of what's considered the Orlando metro. However, Davenport is at the opposite end, sitting southwest of Orlando and neighboring Kissimmee. Davenport has a lot of the same issues that Kissimmee has, with a lot of hotels and local businesses catering to the tourism industry, which creates a very transient population. They also have a large number of rentals, as a lot of cast members for Disney commute from the Davenport area to Disney World. On a more positive note, you can purchase a house or get a rental in that area at a pretty good price. And on a plus, there is a lot of newer construction as well. So you can get a pretty decent home at a pretty fair price in Davenport. The median home price right now is $250,000, which is actually $10,000 less than the median home price of all of Orlando Metro at $260,000. Alright guys, well that is a wrap for today. I hope you learned a little bit more about what it's like living in the Orlando, Florida area. And let me just say, the areas that I mentioned today that made our list, they have some positives as well. And I've worked with families that have bought and sold in these areas, and they have nothing but good things to say about some of these areas that they've lived in. And that just goes to show that there's a place for everybody. There's what might not be a good fit for one family could be a perfect fit for somebody else. It really comes down to what your specific needs are. So if there's any questions that you have, any further clarification that you have on any of these areas, let us know. Drop us a comment, shoot us a message. Definitely let us know if there's an area that maybe we haven't covered yet that you want to know more about. Definitely shoot us a message. I'm more than happy to do a personal video for you and send that out. And like I said, you got to reach out to us though. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, however you like to communicate. I promise you, we got your back when moving to Orlando, Florida. So until next time, I'm Don Sprinkle, and I'll catch you later.